Right, hello people. I know there's not anyone there watching at the moment, but hello anyway. I know I'll get views eventually throughout the day, so thank you for stopping by and watching the channel. I didn't go out today because I was too bloody tired. Don't realise how much energy digging up properties take out of a human body. My feet were still aching. I was tired. I went to bed early last night actually, and then I was still tired this morning. I just wanted to sleep in because I just didn't feel that my energy. Well, put it this way, I didn't think I'd cope going out today because I just didn't have the energy. So I did not go magnet fishing, which I planned to do today. But tomorrow I may go because although I said to Ron, the guy who I got permission on for milk tea, and I did say to him I might pop up Friday if you're okay. If not, it'll be next week. And he said, yeah, that's fine. But tomorrow, see what the weather is for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be raining, light rain, all through the day. So I wouldn't want to be going out in the rain, milk detecting. It's supposed to be raining all the way until Monday again. British weather never makes up its mind, I tell you, man. It's supposed to rain yesterday, or been very cloudy yesterday, but it turned out quite nice yesterday. Apart from it did start getting a bit cold in the evening. Well, I say evening, late afternoon, around about 3:30, it started getting rather cold. And I had to pack up about 3:30 anyway, because the guy was having some people around to check his horses or something, yeah. So, I don't want to be there and kind of go over my time. And when I said to him, I'll finish, I don't want to be in your way. He goes, oh, you could have carried on a bit longer, mate. I said, nah. I said, I don't want to be like here, in your way. Because you wouldn't have been in my way because we were doing the horses, but we're all packed up now. So anyway, I've been trying to contact certain councils again to see if I can get permission. To get permission to do metal detecting on green spaces, such as like commons, woodlands, parks, general kind of like open ground which ain't really being looked after. And the council is still turning around and saying no. I've had communication with someone. Let me just go back to my email. I won't say their name, but she's been kind of like nice in one way. I won't read the first email, but I will read the second email. Because the first one's me just like trying to get permission. And she's told me that, she can't give permission, but she'll try and see if she can talk to someone about getting metal detecting permissions in the Reigate area. Now, this is what she sent me. Hopefully, the Surrey Milk Detecting group on Facebook will be able to help you with places. Well, I've joined them, and I've not really spoken to them yet. See, I'm the kind of person who'd rather detect on my own and not be with a group. But if I can't get, permissions, then I may have to next year join a group and do, like metal detecting digs with groups, I suppose. But I'd rather dig on my own because I am one of those people who like to be on my own. I don't really like sharing digs if I can help it, but if it means doing that, I'll have to. But anyway, she goes, I've asked numerous people here, and everyone has said that we don't do any permits for metal detecting. I am pretty sure the person who told you is wrong, but I'll wait on one more person to get back to me, and as soon as he replies, I'll let you know. Hopefully, he'll be able to get one in January. Oh, actually, she's saying, I hope that you might get one for a permit in January for the Epsom dig, because Epsom Downs do permits at £40 per year, but they only limit it to 25 permits per year. It's like a first come, first serve, kind of like all deal kind of thing. She goes, with regrets to getting out more, maybe getting an allotment. Getting a allotment. That's where you grow, your vegetables, plants, flowers, and all that kind of stuff, yeah? To you guys in America and other countries who don't know what allotment is. Allotment is a piece of ground where you can go and dig up freely and, plant different kind of fruit, vegetables, and flowers, and, all that kind of stuff. So if it isn't, to have one here, it's £45 a half plot for a year and £90 for a full plot per year. I'm not sure what it would be for one in your area, but I would imagine it would be very much more. Sorry, I ain't got my glass. I don't know where my glasses are. It's harder for me to read on bloody internet sometimes. We also have a couple of groups of people that are socially isolated or just want to get out more than all and share all like allotments, plots, and work together. I know it's not really helped every single one of them. It might be worth looking into. I appreciate if everyone's is interested in gardening, so sorry if this isn't for you. Just a fault. So what she's trying to say, right, is like, if I want to get out more, it's sort of like metal detecting. Why don't I take up some kind of gardening, getting an allotment and planting stuff, yeah? And, meeting people that way. Well, it's not so much meeting people. As I said, I like to be on my own. And if I have to meet up with someone, I don't mind meeting people, but not on a regular basis. Like me and Alan, we don't meet every single day. We meet once a fortnight, which I'm kind of happy with, kind of thing. Sometimes we might meet up twice in a fortnight, but I'm only able to like meet up with him on under certain conditions, like if I've got enough to travel around, a couple of times a week. If the weather isn't like bad, if it ain't pissing down the rain or thunderstorms or snowing or something like that, it's all down to the weather conditions as well. No, it's not that I don't want to be meeting people. I do generally meet people. Like I had a chat with a guy the other week actually, and he used to be a metal detectorist, and he said that he used to like metal detect in the land where I was at the time. And I said to him, is this run under the council? He goes, well, I think this part is, but I don't know about that part. So you just don't know what parts of land is actually run under the council or public or even private. Now, we don't have much public land, as it is now, because it's always, governed by the bloody council all the time, or the Conservatives. And the Conservatives is like, well, to me, a little bit like the council. They don't allow you to dig on, green space land. Because what it is, the Conservatives, what I see is that it's public land, right? But they form a kind of a group called the Conservatives, and they have like meetings, and they put down like certain kind of like understanding agreements and stuff like that. And someone might have turned around and said, well, we like the land as it is, we don't want to see anyone digging up on the land. So you have like it's like an election, I suppose, like a general poll. If you get like, 50 people out of like 75 saying no digging, then the Conservatives, the board member, the one who actually runs it, will turn around and make a ruling up saying, right, okay, 50 people out of 75 said they don't want people digging on their land and like, trying to find, mineralizations, metals and stuff like that. So we put a ruling up saying no digging allowed. Okay. So, you got your council and you got your Conservatives. Now, I did send an email back to this lady by the name of Vicky, and she is a green space admin. Right, I won't say where, but she has been going, out of her way in trying to find if there's any kind of land I will be able to be able to metal detect. Now, she did say, look, I'm glad you got your permission on a private piece of land. Maybe try another privately owned land, farms and stuff like that. But I've actually did speak to a couple other people, but I've not had no reply from anyone as of yet. But it's not going to deter me, Although I've asked about 3 or 4 other people, and they said they'll speak to their husbands and wives and stuff like that. Maybe they just didn't have the time to, or they forgot all about it. So I will go back down there and just ask them if they've considered about me milk detecting on their land. And it's only small plots of land. You're talking about anything from 3 to 5, 7 acres, kind of thing. There is one guy who has a lot of land, which I was going to try to contact, but I've been it's not that I've not been bothered. I keep forgetting to do it. I've been forgetting to look on the internet and trying to find out, this particular company. It's like a gardening kind of shop he owns in a certain location not far from me, and he does own a lot of land. And I was told to give him a call. Maybe he might turn around and say, yeah. Now on the way home yesterday, there is some farmland, and there's quite a few fields in the back, and these fields are bigger than football pitches. So I was thinking of stopping on there, on the way home, but I was so bloody tired yesterday, I decided to not do it today, but I will probably do it another day, There's no rush, because I was thinking, look, I've got one permission at the moment. I might as well just get on with that. And then once I completed that permission, try and find another one kind of thing later. But then another part of me is saying, well, and if you are still doing your permission now, still look for other permissions until, even if you give me the okay, just tell them you're not going to start detecting until the new year. And then at least you've got a permission under your belt kind of thing, But, my brain doesn't function some of the times. I think before I can speak and speak before I can think sometimes, it's kind of ridiculous. But what I see with the councils, right, is that you got some, guy at the top or some woman who just don't like people detecting on the ground, on the land. I see it the way that councils follow the same rules of other councils. Like you might have a council in Surrey, you might have a council in Wessex, you might have a council in somewhere else, and they all kind of follow the same ruling. Even their bylaws are practically all the same, but they don't state in their bylaws, some of them, that you can't dig. I say you can't remove turf, but to me, removing turf is actually removing it and taking it away. And I actually had a word with one of the Conservators, the one who actually asked me to leave. I say I got kicked off. I didn't get kicked off. I was told to stop detecting, and I left on my own. I just left, because I thought, well, it ain't going to be worth, hanging around here if I can't detect. So I left on my own, kind of situation kind of thing, I can't think of words today. I don't know why, because I'm still tired probably. So, I did leave, and if I hadn't left and jumped on a bus, I wouldn't have got my first permission. So maybe, that's supposed to have happened, God does weird things. I'm not saying it was God. I'm a Christian. I do believe in God. I believe in the devil. But maybe something was telling me, to go on a bus and, travel further out, and jump off and get lost and end up at a field and ask permission to do those fields, and it happened kind of thing, Life can be unusual and weird sometimes. I might only have this one permission and not get another one for, God knows how long. It could be a couple of years before I get another one. Does it mean, continually working on that field? Maybe, because I've seen many videos where they've done milk detecting, and they've done certain parts of fields thinking they're not going to get nothing, and they've gone back like several months later, they scanned the area again, and they started finding more things, It's because I think maybe it's because, like, the farmers use their tractors and, tools to like dig the grounds up. It's disturbing the ground all the time. And it's bringing some of those like artifacts back up to the ground, kind of thing. But my permission doesn't use any kind of like tractors. He's got his own tools, horses, and the horses eat the grass. He doesn't need to dig the ground whatsoever. So, to be honest with me, it will probably be a bit harder for me to look for stuff on the horse farm, because those artifacts are probably down deep. The ground's not being dug to bring them back up to like more of the surface. So that on my area, those artifacts are going to stay where they are, kind of thing. But going back to the council, like councils have rules and regulations. And I said to her on my last email, which I just finished about 10 minutes ago, actually, I'm saying the problem with the councils, they kind of like have too many rules and regulations, and it's kind of like destroying the freedom of, humanity to do anything on green space land. No, we can't fly a drone, we can't fly a kite, we can't play a radio, we can't even fish on some lands, we can't run on some lands. Some people can't ride the horses or take the dogs for a walk or things like that, kind of thing. It's just like, it's destroying, the freedom of anyone who wants to go and do anything on the Greenland. And I also said, look, I can understand, about the holes being dug, but, the more sensible and responsible people will cover the holes up. Why can't the council just turn around and say, look, okay, what we'll do is issue so many permits like Epsom has done, and we'll see how it goes, And I even said to him, look, why don't you put some kind of scheme on the council website? It's where, like, if someone gets a permit from you, they have to log on and say where they're going to go and jot down their license number, all right? It's like a clocking thing, And if that person is not being responsible by covering their holes up here, and, one of the guys from the council walks around and see holes not kind of like covered in, then maybe they should actually suspend the person's license and have words with them. And, if it continues, then withdraw their license completely. I know doing that would probably, to me, that would be a good idea. But if one person's going to like break the rules, doesn't mean other people will break the rules and not cover their holes up, kind of thing. And I did say to her the same, in the same email, I said, look, that does ruin it for, the rest of us, who are generally covering the holes up, kind of thing. You do get the odd person who goes along, digs, and doesn't cover the holes up. And that is what destroys it for the, more sensible people, But how do you know if it's a detectorist that's dug the hole up? And I asked this question to the conservator the other day when he asked me to stop digging on certain land. I said, how do you know it ain't an animal digging up the holes, like a fox, a rabbit, a hare, a badger? They all dig holes up. Do they get told to stop digging holes? No, of course they don't. I know it's, sounds a bit silly asking that, and mentioning it, but they don't get told to cover holes up because it's nature in it in one way. Animals don't understand, human behaviour. You can't go to a badger or a fox say, right, you dug that hole up, now cover it up, kind of thing. The animal's just going to look at you and scarp and run away, kind of thing. But when someone is actually like detecting on land and not filling holes up, it is giving a bad name to other people who want to detect on land. And it ruins it because it stops us from actually going on that land and detecting. And what we're doing is we're trying to find that relic, that, little bit of archaeology to save and put in like museums or keep for ourselves, just so we can so we can show our children, our grandchildren, even their children in time to come, the kind of things that we had way back, like hundreds and thousands of years ago. Because like that's the passion, I suppose, why we do it. Because like there's so much stuff under the ground that's being like kept there, and we with the passion try to find some of that stuff and to like preserve it. And there's a lot we can't preserve because the council are allowing people to come along and build on it. You get all these people coming around and building shopping centres, shopping malls, residential buildings, factories, and Christ knows what else, kind of thing. So, when people are building on it, there's a certain amount of land which we can't actually detect because it's been built on. And if you think about it, our land is getting shorter and shorter each year because of people building on it, kind of thing. I reckon one of these days, next couple of thousand years, there won't be no land, there won't be no parks. If there is going to be parks, which have been man-made kind of thing, because everything's going to be buried, be a bit like Blade Runner, where you got like so many constructions, buildings, your cars, there ain't no roads because it's built, buildings been built on the road, kind of thing, and your cars are like these hover cars and kind of stuff. You just don't know what's going to happen in the future. And we need to think about the past, what we're trying to recover from the past and trying to, kind of like preserve, kind of thing, and pointing to like museums and, show our children and children, before it all gets like lost and hidden and buried for, eternity, I suppose. But, as I say, the council don't give a shit. They stop people doing everything. You can't camp, you can't fish, you can't do this, you can't do that. Now, what is the point in having Greenland if you can't do nothing apart from walk through it? I know a lot of people, public people, like it that way. I've walked through many woodlands, and like just the day I got my permission, I walked through some woodlands, and I didn't hear hardly anyone. I was in there for about 20 minutes before I even did hear someone walking around, with some kids. And I did get lost, and I eventually found my way back out on a different area, and that's how I found the horse farm. And that's when I actually was able to talk to Ron and see if I can get like permission on his land. And he said, yeah, no problems. But if it weren't for the farmers, we wouldn't get no bloody permissions, I don't think, But even some of the farmers don't want you digging up their land. You get the good farmers, you get the bad farmers. Some will say, yeah, okay. Some will say no, and some you don't know, they think it over. And like, I spoke to like several farmers the other day, left like, my details if they weren't in. I even gave them details, my name and my NCMD license number. I gave them the actual form they can fill in if they want to fill it in. For like, insurance purposes, I suppose. And the agreement. Now, when I went up to my permission the other day, Ron wasn't, the guy wasn't there till around 2:00 time, kind of thing. So it wasn't really worth me doing anything, to be honest with you. And I told him I had the form, and he goes, to be honest with you, I don't want to fill the form in. So that's all right, just the verbal agreement's okay. So I've seen videos where people have said that they don't even get the farmers to fill the forms in because the farmers don't like, paperwork. So it's more of a verbal agreement. And that's what mine is, a verbal agreement. Because I left, details with other farmers, they might think, well, I don't really want to be filling this form, kind of thing. So no, I'm going to say no to him. But I've not had no contact from them, so I'll probably go down there and just like pester them one more time and see what they say. Because just like us normal people would do, they tend to lay things down and forget about it, and I will lose them. So I will go to the farms I've been to and just like ask them again. They say no, fair enough. But I will give them another card. So if you do change your mind, just let me know. But as I say, with the council and the Conservators, they're both as bad as each other. To be honest with you, they don't like digging, and unless someone had the power in the government to turn around and say, metal detecting is like a very interesting hobby. It helps the sales of detectors being built. It's giving people jobs and stuff like that. Unless you had someone who actually detected in the government and enjoyed detecting, and he was being turned down on permissions all the time, then only he could probably put a word in for us. But I can't see that ever happening, to be honest with you. But it's a shame that the council just won't allow us to do any digging around here. It is all down to actually getting permissions on private land. And, there isn't a lot of private land because the council's always got the fucking land, and they're letting people go around building shopping centres and apartments and stuff like that on the damn thing, We ain't going to have that much land left. Because I remember last year, right, I wasn't detecting last year. I was just having a walk around. And I walked from Mitcham all out past Hackbridge up to further afield there, yeah. And as I was walking up there, I found at least 2 bits of land being built on, new apartment buildings. I know, building houses and apartments, can help, with the homeless people, because there are a lot of people out there homeless, kind of thing. And I suppose, building buildings and, giving properties to people who haven't got a house, a chance of getting a place to live in and, paying a fair amount of rent, I suppose, that's a good idea, I suppose. But you got to consider that if you build 100 houses on a piece of land, that land could have so much archaeological and so many relics in the ground which have never been able to being detected because the council won't let you detect it in the first place. If they knew that someone was going to build a bit of land on, such as let's say there's an open space around the corner to me, yeah, and it's been left there for years. Why don't they let you detect on that before they know that someone's going to buy that land off them and then build on it again? It's very rare that you even see where people have been actual detecting. I was told a story the other day, actually, yeah, where there's a bit of land which was run by the council. I can't tell you what council it was because I can't remember. But there's some open wasteland, right? Just laying around, and no one had been detecting on it whatsoever. But some development bought the land up, and as I was digging in the ground, they found a lot of archaeology, and they believed it was early Roman, Saxon kind of stuff, yeah. But they contacted the council, and the council said, "So don't worry about it. Just carry on doing what you're doing." And all that archaeology got thrown to one side, got lost. And I think that's wow, that's fucking disgusting. We're trying to recover and save archaeology. Find all that stuff from the past, so it shows to our future generations of people. And the council just turn around and say, "Don't worry about it." I don't know what's wrong with people nowadays. The council not letting us do what we want to do. It's like taking our freedom away, I suppose. Unless you are lucky enough to get like that permission from, a farmer, then great. Like someone did, well, the same guy who told me that story, yeah, he said, even with farms, you can ask 100 farmers with land to get permission, and you might be lucky to get 10 out of that 100. So even farmers don't give a damn, really, honestly, to be honest. All they want is to like plant their crops, cut their crops, make money, and that's it. But don't they realise that if you was lucky enough to find that next hoard of Roman coins, Saxon coins, gold, silver, whatever, they could be making money out of it, kind of thing. Because they would get like a finder's fee. But people don't think about that, especially farmers. I'm not saying all farmers are like April nasty bleeders, because like mine ain't. He was happy enough for me to dig on there. But I think the more farmers you do ask and you talk to them in a polite way, then yeah, maybe they will be more understanding, and they'll probably give you permission. By the way I see it, there's more people getting permissions down south, Kent wise, and possibly in Wales and further up north. But in the middle of England, I don't see hardly any other people getting like permissions, to be honest with you. But anyway, that's how I see it with the council. They don't give a damn. They're taking the freedom away from us. They can moan and bitch about the holes in the ground, but don't animals do that? They don't moan and bitch at animals digging holes, do they? And then I said to the lady on my email, I've probably walked through commons and woodlands so many times. I've tripped over holes. And these ain't holes from like human beings. These are holes from animals. Is anything being done about these holes? Nope, nothing. So why are they complaining about a few little holes that are being dug by detectives, kind of thing? There is a big percentage of people who will cover their holes up, but there's a small percentage who don't give a shit about, covering their holes up. They go out there with a detector, try to find a few relics. It takes them a few seconds to cover the hole up, but they can't be bothered to waste their few seconds. They rather move on and spend those few seconds looking for more hits to dig up. And, if they're not covering it up, it gives us a bad name. And they're the people who don't deserve, a milk detector in the hand, to be honest with you. Now, at least I cover my holes up. They might not go back the way they came out, but at least I cover them up. So it shows that there's someone who dug a hole up and it's not left open for someone to go along a trip up, or an animal to like get his hoof or paw, trapped and like broken or whatever. But anyway, I've had my moan and bitch. It's more of a moaning video today. Yeah, but I'll probably be going out. I might go out tomorrow, depending on the weather. I've got to go to the doctor's tomorrow anyway, get me medication. But it says light rain all the way through, well, from 10 o'clock. Now my appointment's like 10:30. So I'm not going to go to my permission tomorrow. I might go magnet fishing. So I was meant to go magnet fishing today, but I was too damn tired, exhausted. I didn't have the energy to even get out of bed, to be honest with you. And I didn't get out of bed till like 2 o'clock. So Saturday, Sunday, I don't know what I'm going to do. Monday's supposed to be raining. I think me and Annan is going to be meeting up on Tuesday. And I think Anna might be coming more to my area and do do an area which we've done before. But the British weather's been a bit of an arse at the moment, because it did say yesterday, today, Friday, and Saturday was supposed to be kind of like either light cloud with scattered sunshine, or today's supposed to be sunny. But today it's been cloudy with rain. Tomorrow it's supposed to be sunny with like sunny interviews and possibly a bit cloudy. But now that says it's going to be light rain, gentle breeze. Saturday's going to be gusty winds with light rain showers. Sunday is light rain showers with moderate breeze. Monday is also going to be light rain showers, gentle breeze. Tuesday, light cloud, gentle breeze. So that should be okay for me and Annan to meet up. Thursday's going to be raining. Wednesday's going to be light cloud, just like Tuesday. Thursday's raining. Friday is light cloud. And then Saturday the 9th, Sunday the 10th, rain. Monday the 11th, cloudy. Tuesday the 12th, rain. Wednesday the 13th, cloudy. So we're not going to get too much good weather in the next couple of weeks by looks of things. So there are going to be days I'm not going to be doing anything. Some days I'll have to stay in and start sorting out this crap in my living room and in his bedroom again. But some days I will try to get out, even if it's just for a couple of hours, and do some video of me metal detecting or magnet fishing. And again, if anyone lives in the Surrey area who knows of any properties where I might be able to get some questions, please leave a comment below with an email or not an email. Just send me an email. I'll put my email below in a minute here. Send me an email. Let me know if there's any land that I might be able to get permission in the Surrey area. I don't be too far, like Colston, Wallington, Bennington, Woodcott, all around those areas, kind of thing. If anyone knows of any properties, private landlords with farms that I could contact, send me an email and I'll give them a call or email them or whatever and see if I can get some more permissions. But for now, I've only got one, and that I'm not going to be doing every week. I did say to the guy, I won't be here every week, unless I can get other permissions. If I get other permissions, then I won't be here every week, kind of thing, because I don't want to be disturbing you every week, And he did say, oh, that's all right, I don't mind, but, if I had 4 permissions, I'd do 1 each week, kind of thing, or 2 each week. I'd do my one, the one I just got. I'll do that one maybe once a fortnight, then even twice a fortnight, I don't know. But then I'll be going on the other permissions and doing those as well. So I'll be going around and trying to find out what one's the better permission, I suppose. I'm not going to give up any of the permissions I do get. I'll still do them. But, there's got to be with other people with their permissions, they might have their own favourite one that they like going to because they get more fines there, kind of thing. But anyway, I'm going to go. I've blabbed enough. I've got a bit of a sore throat now. I've got a headache. So, no other videos up tonight, but there might be one maybe tomorrow night if I get up. Well, I've got to get up tomorrow because I say I've got a doctor's appointment. Can't miss that. So otherwise I ain't going to get my medication. So after I've been there, I'm going straight up to my magnet fishing permission and do some magnet fishing there tomorrow. And yeah, there'll be a video for tomorrow night. All right, catch you later.